So on today's podcast, we welcome our friend RIKKI Chan into the studio. He's a Manchester-based photographer, and we've actually worked with him quite a lot over the years on a lot of different projects. He normally does product stuff, but he's also been known to do lifestyle and portraiture. We spent about half an hour speaking to him about his use of LinkedIn and how he's used that to get work. We also spoke to him about the use of AI in photography and the price of eggs.
What do you want to talk about? We haven't planned this one.
Yeah,
we were
that's
like,
fine.
RIKKI likes...
Am I like a test subject?
Yeah, basically.
Oh, okay,
cool. Tell us about yourself, RIKKI.
I'm a photographer specialising in product, but it's kind of like turned lifestyle now.
Yeah,
which is
most
weird.
of the stuff that I see you post now is like lifestyle.
It kind of like... So during COVID, when I was working at home, shooting a lot of products, it's just kind of just like ventured off like after COVID. It went from like hard product stuff to like doing stuff on location, just like lifestyle stuff. I think it started off with like doing the Weber stuff with you guys.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But that was a weird one, wasn't it? Because it was kind of... Well, I can't remember what we told you it was going to be, but it was like...
I think I was supposed to be doing BTS stuff, but I kind of just like went off on a tangent and just started shooting like loads of other stuff as well.
But then we ended up doing loads of portraiture and stuff, didn't we?
Yeah.
The stuff that looks really good.
Yeah.
Like the...
Still my favourite shoot, that.
It is your favourite shoot?
Yeah.
Oh, right. I thought you said it's not my favourite.
Yeah. It's the worst one.
It was a good one. Yeah. So off the back of that, you got more lifestyle stuff off the back of that.
Yeah.
Because I think you're right. When we first started chatting, you did like quite high concept, like product stuff, didn't you?
Yeah.
Which do you still do any of that? I don't see you post much of it. If you do,
I can do it. I can do it, but it's just I don't know. Most of my clients now are kind of just like, oh yeah, it has to be lifestyle on location or whatever.
Right.
But I think I got a few shots in like last year doing like a few product stuff, but it wasn't like proper hard product focused stuff.
Yeah. Do you miss doing it? It's a lot of working on your own though, isn't it? Like,
yeah, but I like that.
Oh, right.
I think, you know what? They say like a lot of products, like photographers are a bit weird. Like they just like to stick by themselves and just like, just shoot because they just don't like being distracted. And plus, like, you know, when you like setting up and stuff, you have to like balance everything. You just can't have a lot of people around.
Yeah, sure.
So like I did a course shoot last year and there was like 7 of the clients there and they literally like swarmed over my laptop all over the set. They were even messing with the food stylist, like food and stuff, like, oh, maybe we should do this. And
oh,
like,
really?
I was just like, what are you doing? This is crazy.
We've had experience like that.
I was going to say that happens quite often.
Lots of people, client side, who, you know, it is quite handy sometimes to have somebody there who can like make sure that everything's on brand and everything looks correct. And
yeah, that's fine. It's when they start like reframing and stuff like that. Yeah. That's like when the issue is, right? Because it literally happened last week. Set up a nice interview frame, and they went, right, we just need it was like
move the whole rig.
Like an LED screen behind them. Or we just turn it there so you can see the screen. Brilliant, it flickers. You know what I mean? So it's like, we had a really nice frame that we spent, I don't know, maybe half an hour doing.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah, it is weird, my process when I shoot, because I just like picture like just a blank space. And then just start thinking like, basically like painting the product basically.
Yeah, sure. So
I'll just do like a million different shots and then just put it all together.
So is a lot of your process in post then? Like, are you comping stuff for your product stuff?
Yeah.
Comping loads of stuff
if
together.
I had like a massive studio and like a million lights, then I could do all in one go.
Yeah.
But because I'm, you know, in limited space and stuff, I can easily just do it.
Also, because like if you're pretty handy in post, like what's the point of not like, it's different with video obviously because it's much harder to like comp stuff together, especially if it's a moving image. Like, but I guess with photography, it's like if you can comp it, then so, why not?
Yeah, it's definitely a lot harder for video. Like, let's say if you had like a little piece of dust on your lens and you didn't even notice it all day. I didn't even know what you guys would do.
Just leave it.
Freak out and just feel like,
I just added that in post.
Just don't mention it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sees it.
We had a shoot for a whiskey company years ago where their reference image, we had to shoot a load of pack shot stuff, like video, so it was all moving. And it was quite like an elaborate setup, but the reference image that they gave us was like obviously a still image, and the photographer had shot it like 2 weeks ago, and we were trying to replicate the exact lighting and couldn't do it obviously because I later found out after phoning the photographer saying like, how did you light this, because I can't do it. he's like, oh, it's like a comp of like 24 images. I was like, right, well, I can't do that with video. So like, how do I do it? So it was the most bizarre. So I'll put a link to the behind the scenes of it, but like, it was a mental setup to try and not get like reflections where you don't want them. As in photography, you just paint it out.
Yeah, we can just do whatever.
It's magic.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot easier. It's like every time we come out with you guys and stuff who are other video teams and stuff, and they just got like the biggest kit, and I'm just like with a rucksack with a few lights. And
I always look at
so
photographers
jealous.
and just go, oh, you little dick. Like how you can get away with so little kit.
Jealous.
It's a skill
Even
issue,
when we have not a lot of kit, we have in comparison, it's still a lot of kit.
Do you do most of them? Have you just got like a home setup? That
I literally have a conservatory.
Oh,
and
nice.
I just do stuff in there.
Yeah, so it's not like you're paying for a studio that you're like, oh, I need to be out of here by 6.
Well, the thing is now, the economy, everything's so expensive. Like, how am I going to afford like having a studio on the side as well as paying rent? Like,
Yeah.
Eggs are like well expensive now. Eggs are like £5.
Eggs?
Eggs. Do you know what I mean? That's when you know everything's like dead pricey now.
I bought
Well, that's your barometer, is it? How expensive eggs are.
Oh, yeah.
I did pay £3.80 for a box of eggs at the weekend.
Did you? So I was like in Tesco the
I thought
other
it
day.
was extortionate, but I bought them.
Yeah, I was in Tesco the other day and I saw like chicken breasts and they were like £24. And I'm like,
what?
Who's buying £24 chicken breasts?
It must have been like free range, organic.
Yeah, but still, if it was free range, I don't give a shit. Like, I'm not paying £24 for like 2 small breasts. Like, mad. You know what I mean?
Depends where you are, doesn't it? That's a quote. Depends where you are, mate.
It's crazy.
Whatever you're into.
Right. We've really gone off topic here, right?
So with your product stuff and your lifestyle stuff, because we've noticed that, haven't we? We mentioned it maybe on this podcast, maybe in the office, that we did a lot more product stuff, I don't know, maybe a year or 2 ago, and they kind of don't really see that kind of stuff anymore. For whatever reason that might be. Is that just like a natural thing, do you think?
Actually, I don't see that many product photographers like doing like proper hard product shots anymore.
Do you not think it's because AI is going to absolutely decimate that?
I was literally going to say, that's what seems to come up all the time now, is that like, because an AI can just do that now. Give the right prompts, and it can give you a still image. It still can't do a video that's like,
have you not seen the Will Smith video eating spaghetti though? The AI one.
It's pretty good.
It's crazy.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, it is getting better. And I think half of it is just being able to put the correct prompt in, right?
I don't think AI is going to ruin like photographers though.
No, I don't think it
when like
will.
people are just like going a bit crazy on it.
Yeah,
It's
of
like
course.
boomers that say that, they don't. They like they just don't want to adapt with the like times and
That's
stuff.
it. I kind of get the sense that anybody who's even remotely used AI a little bit kind of knows that it's way off.
Yeah, but then
what
again,
people are claiming
I
it
don't
will
even
do.
know how much people charge for like AI product stuff. Like, but then like on shoots and stuff, so many occasions, you get people that just tell you to move the angles, or we won't look like this, and like, we want to change the background or like move it, so we can see the logo and stuff a bit more. Customers want to see that lifestyle stuff being used and whatnot. So obviously I think people in brands want to see it.
Yeah. That makes
location
sense.
kind of stuff.
Like a really nicely shot product coming up as an ad on my Instagram or whatever, I just instantly skip it.
Yeah, because you just think it's just an advert and you don't want to see adverts.
Yeah. Maybe that's it then. Yeah.
So I learned a lot about doing paid ads actually recently.
Right.
Yeah. Just because January was like so dead for me.
Right.
So I was like, all right, so what can I learn? I'm going to learn paid ads and then just start, because I've never done it before. So, like you see people plugging in like their photography video websites. And stuff like that.
Sure.
So you optimize it and then it kind of just like learns on its own and then it targets like a customer base or whatever.
Oh, okay.
So I've just got mine ticking on like £2 a day or something.
Oh, okay.
And it's
On what platform?
on Meta.
Oh, okay.
So like
Right.
Facebook and Instagram.
Okay, right.
So you have this thing where it's called like a pixel or something, and that's like for
Oh,
you.
yeah.
And that pixel is like a brain. So obviously more time you put in, like, money,
Yeah.
it's going to target people that are ready to like book you in and all that kind of stuff.
Got you. Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
how Shopify works.
Yeah. Okay.
But
Where does most of your work come from then as a freelancer?
word of mouth, I think, and LinkedIn.
Does it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're pretty active
I
on
was going to
LinkedIn.
say,
Yeah. Bloody love LinkedIn. LinkedIn
Mr. LinkedIn,
influencer.
aren't you?
Yeah. I think it's Because like Instagram now, or any social media.
Oh, I don't get any work from Instagram.
No.
It's been years since I've got it.
Photographers used to, right? From Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I
Used to
think
get
video
quite-
people did, and
used to get
creatives in
quite a
general
lot.
Yeah.
So is that just not a thing anymore?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Because you get so many people that just do it, like, you know, hobbyists and stuff like that.
did. Yeah, there's so much noise on there, isn't there?
Yeah.
And it's like,
Whereas like LinkedIn, just champion LinkedIn all the time because you can like connect with like creative directors, producers, directors, all sorts of people.
yeah.
And you can just like chat with them. And I only use it just to like, you know, if I have like a month where I don't have a lot of work in, I'll just plug that every 2-3 days a week.
Yeah.
Just to make sure. But, you know, people will just be like, oh, this guy's got some free time.
Yeah.
And I'll just get like random messages and stuff and just be like, oh, I saw you got some availability on LinkedIn.
Okay.
We'll book you in.
Oh, nice. Cool. So it does work.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
like
yeah.
you can't just rely on like word of mouth all the time. Like you have to actually. But I think a lot of like agencies, well, marketing agencies, don't realize, you know, you need a team. You can't just have one person
Yeah. Sure.
doing all of this.
Yeah. Sure.
Like I'll give like, you know, they'll be like, oh, we want to shoot this product or whatever.
Yeah.
And then they'll be like, yeah, how much is that going to cost? And I'm going to say like, I don't know, like $1,500 or whatever, plus retoucher, plus stylist.
Oh, I mean, we get that all the time, don't
And
we?
then they're
really?
like, oh, that's way, like, that's not within our budget at all. Like,
Yeah.
I think because like phones are so accessible now with like cameras and stuff like that, they can just be, oh, I can take a better photo with my iPhone. Do you know what I mean? So they don't expect having like a stylist on set and all sorts of stuff like, just product like styling.
Yeah.
Like I can do a bit of product styling because I've been doing it for a long time, but I'm not good at it.
Exactly. And that's just one crew that we have to argue for, and like sound recordist is another one. Obviously, photography, you don't have to worry about that, but like
No.
But for video, it's always the first thing. If we give somebody a quote and then they say, oh, we need to cut it down a bit, sound recordist is always the first one to go.
I don't understand why though, because audio, they say like audio is like
it's half of it,
most important.
Yeah, exactly.
Not the most important, but it is like one of the most important things.
People are a bit more forgiving with slightly dodgy looking footage, but slightly dodgy sound. Like you'll skip it. Like you won't watch it if it's got dialogue. I mean,
Unforgivable.
Yeah, it is. Like, you know what it's like if you're trying to listen to a podcast and the sound is shit, or like a YouTube video and the sound shit. Like you just click away straight away. Whereas like you're a bit more forgiving about the visual. I think so. It's ridiculous that's one of. I mean that MTV one that we had recently.
Yeah,
like we could have done with a soundy on that, really, especially because it was a complicated shoot because we couldn't use wireless mics.
Okay.
Because at the Co-op Arena, they've got like a million different wireless mics going on, the signals going on. So we're just like, nah, you can't.
You have to use them like so
just had
Madonna mic.
Yeah.
Wired stick mics.
A wired stick mic.
XLR wired.
But at one point, they needed four people to be like the presenter and then 3 interviews. And obviously, like, if you've not got a soundy, because normally, I mean, even though they're not wireless, you could just plug them all into the soundy, like have 4 mics going. But we just had our cameras, which have only got like 2 XLR inputs. Yeah. So we had to like plug 2 into one camera and 2. Luckily, we had another camera, so 2 into one camera, 2 into the other. And just having these like wires trailing all over the place, and like it just felt so old school.
Well, it's always budget restraints, isn't it? And it's always like when they've got a certain figure to stick to, that we start have to like strip things away. Do you have to do that as well? I know like there's only you, but is there certain things like if you've got your day rate, for example, but if they say we've only got X amount, do you then have to like tailor what you can offer? Or do you just go for it?
Because you stick to your guns pretty much. Like I don't see you drop your rates very much.
Well, I try not to, but you know when it's like if it's a quiet month, I'll just do whatever. Like because I used to work with Steve Wing a lot. So it was always just like, just go all the time. Like, even if it's like that small budget, I'm just used to it. Like just shooting things like super fast and then for a small budget. But
is that based, I guess, is the assumption that, it's not going to take the whole day. Like it's going to, or that's really good portfolio stuff. Like, that's the way that we try and think about it, isn't it? It's like, if we're going to do something as a favor or mates race, I hate really having to do it, but it's like, if it's going to benefit us in some other way, or if it's not going to take like a whole day, if realistically, we're trying not to do half days because I think
half days they
don't exist.
I don't even think it's about quality anymore. I think it's just about the person, the photographer, like the personality.
Really?
They get on with the team. It's just tits and teeth.
Sure, right.
Like you guys hire me because it's tits and teeth all the time. Do you know what I mean?
Do you think that's right? Do you think people are just getting hired because of like, not because
I think that's a thing. I definitely think that's a thing.
What, like a name? Like
we'll work with Rikki on a shoot because we know him.
Oh,
we don't really like go and like look for any other photographers who might be cheaper than him. Do we?
Don't tell our clients that.
No, definitely.
People also know that he's good.
Well, that is it. I mean, yeah, in a bit, yeah. That is kind of what we talked about. If we liked
him and he was shit, maybe not. But
yeah, that is kind of what we talked about.
Right.
We have talked about this before, though, right? Like even more about when it would come to hiring people, but like half the battle is like you being a sound person.
Yeah.
Well, it's like what they say now, isn't it? It's like it's not what you know, it's who you know, isn't it? Like within our industry, like. You see people who are super popular, and they get loads of work in.
Yeah. What's the photography landscape like now when you go like working on jobs with clients or with agencies and stuff? Is there still like a lot of work? Is there still backlash on prices and budgets and stuff? Do you still have to like haggle a lot? Is there a lot of that kind of chat, or does it like? Because I don't know about you. I find like it kind of comes in waves. There's times where like we'll have like loads of like leads and stuff come in, but they might all be like small budgets.
Yeah.
And then we might go a few weeks where we don't really hear anything, but then one will come in and it's a good sized budget, which kind of makes us feel better for the time where we're a bit quieter.
And sticking to our guns with prices
and sticking
as well.
to our guns,
It's tempting, isn't it, to like... Sorry, I will let you speak in a minute. It's tempting to like, when it's quiet, be like, oh, we'll just take the not lower paying jobs, but like smaller budgets, and you fill your calendar up with them, and then
and there might be projects that you're not really that arsed about, really. But
that's
like,
the thing, I don't mind
pay the
budgets
bills though.
Like, I'll do a smaller budget. I'm not arsed. Like, as long as it goes into my bank account. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's nice getting like high budget jobs and stuff. But sometimes like startup company like clients and stuff, like they don't have a big budget.
I quite like those jobs as well. I know what you mean.
I actually think that photography stuff now is proper devalued though, because everyone thinks that they just do it so easy on their phone now. And plus it's not really that much about the creative anymore. It's about the statistics and stuff and how it's doing like views and getting clicks and stuff.
I know it's a metric and all that kind of stuff.
It's all about the metrics though.
But it does my head in because we get it. There's one client that when we get a brief from them and it's like, how would you measure the success of the project or the video and whatever? It's always how many views it gets. And I'm like, that's got nothing to do with us. It could be the best video in the world. Yeah. But if you don't market it properly, no one's going to see it.
Yeah.
So that's no reflection on us.
Yeah. Well, it's like the core shoot, the image of that person taking the bottle out. That image was like super nice. Like, I'm proud of that one.
Yeah.
That's like a one that performed really badly.
Really?
Yeah. And the best one was probably the shoot that I did in Manchester Museum with a company called Heat.
Right.
Where we were shooting like fashion, lifestyle
in
the museum.
Yeah, I've seen that.
That one's like doing the best.
Really?
Which is just bizarre, isn't it?
What do you think about us posting on Instagram generally? Like, I don't think we get much direct work from it.
Do clients just go on Instagram to look for people?
Yeah, I think that's what I think they do. I don't think they contact us through it. So we're not getting direct work through it, but I think it's most people's first port. It's definitely my first port.
It's like keeping up appearances though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like imagine like we just didn't update Instagram like ever, and like our last post was from 4 years ago. They'd be like, well, are they even?
But if I'm looking to work for a company, looking to work with a company as a supplier or whatever, then the first thing I do is look for them on Instagram. Like I don't search for them on Google.
Oh yeah.
That's what I mean. So I say, but I would rarely contact them through that. I'd probably then go to their link tree or whatever it is on their profile and then contact them through the website or whatever. But it's always my first port of call.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So even if you're not getting direct contact from these platforms, people are still looking.
Yeah. And I think people like to see that you're busy as well.
Maybe I need to...
You post stuff on Instagram a lot, don't you? It's always just playing golf.
Just on my stories.
Yeah, you playing golf.
Yeah.
Honestly, January was dead. Literally just golf. That was it. Do they do networking stuff for creatives? I don't think I've ever seen one. Maybe someone should start one.
Well, I looked into it recently. Yeah, but the thing is, you're just meeting other creatives. If we were talking about getting work, I actually think it's because I work with a business mentor, and he'd say like, "Oh, have you thought about going to any networking events for just creatives?" So I was like, I have done before, but you're just meeting like other creatives, and like you kind of want to be. I think it works better in a much broader networking event, because then you're meeting people who could be potential clients. I mean, I suppose it'd be good to go to Creative One if you wanted to like partner with like align with like a graphic designer or a creative agency, so you can like pitch for bigger work and stuff. But I think the broader ones are better.
So what are you looking forward to in the next few months then, after the slow start?
Winning the lottery.
Yeah. Yeah. Always a good one.
Golf.
More
golf.
I don't know.
Do you work on personal projects?
No, not really. I should. Like,
Because you used to, right?
Yeah, I used to do it quite a bit.
You just find you don't have time, or B, don't need to do it as much anymore?
No, I actually should, but I'm just fucking lazy. Yeah, because I see some other videographers, like, they're all doing passion projects and stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe I need that passion.
I think we've got like passion projects going on at the moment, but we need, like, they're quite big ones, really, aren't they? Like, we've got a couple going on that, like, they're not things that we could just like the stuff that you're talking about that we used to shoot, like product stuff in the studio. Like, you can kind of just do it in half a day and then just to test something. But like the stuff that we're talking about is like mini docs and things like that take like days. They take weeks and weeks to plan and days to shoot and months/years to edit if they're anything like my other projects. So with the same as you, we should make time for like spec stuff.
Yeah, but then, saying like how I went from product to kind of lifestyle stuff. How do you test shoot lifestyle stuff?
Totally. Yeah. Hence why I ended up just defaulting to doing product stuff for a long time.
Yeah.
Especially around COVID, because like work was quite quiet for our usual bread and butter stuff. So it was like, well, what can I shoot realistically on my own in a confined space?
Yeah.
So that's why we tended to do loads. And we did get loads of work off the back of it. So it clearly works. But yeah, lifestyle stuff, like how do I do that? It'd be really good to just have a group of like young, good-looking friends that
we'll be in it. We'll do it.
Sorry, desperate young, good-looking friends that we can just like get in and be like, oh, just hold this beer and
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, though, isn't it? Like, I've got some products at home that I could shoot, but realistically, because the clients that are coming in now, they're not going to be wanting that kind of stuff. They're going to be wanting like models in hand, using the products, all that stuff for the metrics.
Have you thought about using AI?
I haven't, no.
We've come full circle.
Good place to end, I think.